Have you ever held a letter that felt heavier than anything you've ever carried? Not in weight, but in consequence. That morning didn't start with thunder or warning signs. It was just like any other. Sunlight spilled lazily through the curtains. The hum of the refrigerator filled the silence. And then I saw it. A single envelope resting on the kitchen counter. My name written in that soft, slanted script I'd come to recognize better than my own. At first, I assumed Daniel had just stepped out early. Maybe for coffee or to drop something at his sister's place. But something felt wrong before I even touched the envelope. There were no shoes by the door. His favorite hoodie wasn't hanging by the coat rack. The coffee machine sat cold and untouched. The bed, left unmade. The covers halfway tossed like someone had left in the middle of a thought. I picked it up, and my fingers trembled as though they already knew the truth my heart hadn't caught up to. The envelope wasn't just a note. It was an ending. I opened it slowly, like peeling back a wound. Inside, at the very top of the page, were just 2 words. Goodbye, Lila. The words that followed didn't rage. They didn't accuse. They simply mourned. Daniel told me he'd known for months. Since the night I came home with a faint trace of someone else's cologne. I'd said I was working late. Tired, overwhelmed, dismissive. He said he didn't need proof after that. The signs were everywhere. The sudden increase in solo showers. The constant phone calls I took in the hallway. The girls' nights, that were never really with the girls. The way I started avoiding his eyes at the dinner table. He noticed. Not because he was suspicious, but because he loved me. He had seen me drift away. He said it was like watching someone he adored slowly become a stranger. A version of me that flinched at tenderness, dodged affection, and built walls where we once had bridges. And still, he waited. He hoped I'd come back on my own. That I'd come clean. That I'd choose us. But I didn't. And that, he wrote, was the final betrayal. Not the infidelity, but the silence. The knowing lie I told every day by pretending things were fine. What gutted me wasn't the goodbye. It was the kindness. He didn't scream. He didn't blame. His words were graceful, almost gentle, like someone laying flowers on a grave. He said he loved me. Deeply, truly, but staying would mean letting himself disappear completely. He couldn't keep living beside someone who had already left him in every way that mattered. I sank to the floor that day. The letter clutched in my hands, tears choking my breath. The guilt was unbearable, yes, but worse was the realization of everything I had broken. Not just trust, not just vows, but a man who had given me quiet, unshakable love every single day. He was the one who waited up for me when I worked late, who made sure my phone was charged before bed, who remembered how I took my tea, who rubbed my back on nights when I couldn't sleep, even when he couldn't either. And I had treated that kind of love like it was disposable. I tried calling. His phone was off. Emailed. Nothing. I drove to his workplace, only to be told he had taken extended leave. No forwarding details. That's when I knew. This wasn't a heat-of-the-moment exit. He had planned this with intention. Not to hurt me, but to finally protect himself. Weeks blurred into months. I heard through a mutual friend that he'd moved to a coastal town a few hours away. Quiet place. Fresh start. When asked, he never spoke badly of me. He simply said, "It didn't work out." He gave me more grace than I ever deserved. One day I responded to his letter. Not with excuses. Not to beg. Just a simple truth: I was wrong. I loved you. I didn't understand what real love looked like until I destroyed it. He never replied. And I didn't expect him to. Some wounds don't ask to be reopened. Now, that letter he left me sits folded in a drawer I rarely open. I can't bring myself to throw it away. It's not just a memory. It's a monument to what love can be when it's quiet, watchful, patient, and finally, when needed, strong enough to walk away.